Hair transplants don't fail because of bad luck. They fail because of specific, avoidable mistakes. Some made by the surgeon, some made by you. And the worst part, most people don't find out until 8 months later when it's too late to fix anything. I'm going to give you 7 reasons, not the generic stuff you'll find on Google. If you're planning a transplant or you've already had one and something feels off, stay till the end. Reason 1. Wrong surgeon. This is the big one. You picked the wrong surgeon. Not the wrong clinic, not the wrong city, the wrong pair of hands. Here's what people don't understand. A hair transplant is not a standard procedure. It's not like a knee surgery where the technique is fixed. Every scalp is different. Every hairline needs a different design. The angle of every single graft matters. And in a lot of clinics, especially the high volume ones, the surgeon isn't even doing the implantation. They make the slits, walk out, and technicians place every graft. That's not a team approach, that's an assembly line. Ask one question before you book. Doctor, will you be placing the grafts myself? If the answer is anything other than yes, keep looking. Reason 2. Not enough grafts. They didn't put enough grafts in. This sounds basic, but it happens constantly. The clinic promises a certain number, let's say 3000 grafts. You go in, they extract, they implant, you go home. But here's the thing, you have no way of counting. Nobody sits there and counts 3000 grafts. Some clinics overpromise and underdeliver. You were told 3000, maybe 2200 went in. The rest, damaged during extraction, dried out on the tray, wasted because the team was rushing through 4 surgeries that day. And you don't find out until month 8 when the density just isn't there. And everyone tells you, oh, maybe that's just your growth pattern. Nah, you were shortchanged. Reason 3. Poor graft handling. Graft survival. This one is invisible to you, but it decides everything. Once a graft is taken out of your scalp, it's on a clock. Every minute it sits outside, exposed to air, drying out, getting warm, its survival rate drops. Good clinics keep grafts in a chilled solution, handle them with microsurgical tools, and minimize the time between extraction and implantation. Bad clinics, grafts sitting on gauze, room temperature, for hours. By the time they go into your scalp, half of them are already dead. They're planted. They'll form crusts, they'll shed, but they were never going to grow. You'll never know this happened. You'll just think the transplant didn't work. Reason 4. Bad hairline design. The hairline was designed wrong. This is the one you can see and it haunts people. Too low. Now you look like a 40-year-old with a teenager's hairline. Doesn't match your face. Too straight. Every natural hairline is irregular, jagged. A perfectly straight hairline screams transplant. Too dense at the front, hair packed so tight it looks like a wall instead of a natural gradation. A great surgeon designs a hairline for the face you'll have at 50, not the one you want at 28. If your surgeon just asked, where do you want it, and drew exactly what you said, that's not a surgeon, that's a technician taking orders. Reason 5. Ignoring the donor area. They destroyed your donor area. Everyone's obsessed with how the front looks. Nobody talks about the back, but the back of your head is a limited resource. You only have so many grafts to give, and once they're taken out, they don't grow back. Aggressive surgeons extract too many grafts from one spot, or they go too high, too wide outside the safe donor zone. And what happens? The back of your head thins out. Visible patches, see-through areas under certain lighting. Now you've got a good hairline and a bad donor, and you can never cut your hair short again because it'll show. That's not a successful transplant. That's borrowing from one problem to create another. Reason 6. You skipped the medication. This one's on you. You didn't take the medication after. A hair transplant doesn't cure hair loss. Let me say that again. A transplant moves hair. It doesn't stop hair loss. The transplanted hair is permanent, yes, but every other hair on your head still falling. If you don't take finasteride or minoxidil or whatever your doctor prescribed, your existing hair keeps thinning around the transplant. 6 months later, you've got these thick transplanted patches surrounded by thin miniaturized hair. It looks patchy, it looks weird, and people blame the transplant. The transplant was fine, you just didn't protect everything around it. This is the most common reason transplants fail, and it's the one nobody wants to hear because it means taking a pill every day for years. But that's the deal. You signed up for it the moment you sat in that chair. Reason 7. Unrealistic expectations. Your expectations didn't match reality. If you went into a transplant expecting to look like you did at 18, full, thick, every strand in place, you were set up to be disappointed. A transplant doesn't give you more hair. It moves hair from one place to another. If your donor area has 6,000 grafts to give and you need 10,000 to cover everything, the math doesn't work. A good surgeon will tell you that upfront. A bad one will say, we'll handle it in 2 sessions and hope you don't do the math. Some of the best transplants I've seen, the ones that genuinely changed someone's life, they didn't give the person a full head of hair. They gave them a natural looking hairline with smart density placement. That's the win. Not more hair, better placed hair. If you're planning a transplant, save this video. Watch it again before your consultation. Ask the hard questions, and if you've already had one and something feels wrong, drop a comment. I'll tell you what to look for.